Хорошо. Yes. We're going to talk about the physical vacuum and the physical phenomena that can be explained by using the equations of the physical vacuum. When we speak of psychophysical phenomena, we refer to those phenomena where the consciousness of a person acts upon and controls objects in the material world. So what does reality consist of in the theory of physical vacuum? Here it is important to mention that the theory of physical vacuum, besides the material world, also consists of a world of higher reality, the realm of spirits, the realm of the absolute nothing, which symbolizes God. Here we see that there's a scale from 10 to the minus 36 meters. The size at which we study the infinitesimal strings, all the way to 10 to the 27th meters, corresponds to the clusters of the multiverse. This entire scale is the scope of our science, namely the scale of the material world. The human being, who measures only 1.5 to 2 meters, this rather small being is endowed with the capability to relate to things from 10 to the 27th meters down to 10 to the minus 36 meters, the strings, the smallest entities which we know about. This is the entire range that we study in science. Slide 3. The title is Theory of Physical Vacuum. What's that? I will very briefly explain the equations governing the physical vacuum, as you can see on the right-hand side of this slide. These describe all levels of reality: solid objects, liquids, gaseous substances, elementary particles, plasma. These 4 levels constitute the material world. We study these from elementary school science classes all the way up to the university level. However, in addition to the 4 states of material reality, these equations also extend to the world of higher reality, which comprises the physical vacuum, where the primary torsion fields reside, and also the absolute nothing, or God. The realm of the absolute nothing, or God, is mathematically described by the identity equation, namely 0, from a purely physical standpoint. However, all development in the world begins from the absolute nothing. This gives rise to the primordial torsion fields, the physical vacuum, as the matrix for all that is possible. And on this foundation, the absolute nothing goes on to create the elementary particles, gases, liquids, and solid bodies. The fully developed theory has been published in the book Theory of Physical Vacuum of the New Paradigm in 1988. Slide 4, title, Divine Property of Man is to Work Miracles. In one of his sermons, Jesus Christ said, "You are all gods." What he meant was that we can also perform miracles just as Jesus himself did. However, among physicists, moreover, one of these was John Hagelin, a disciple of the Indian philosopher and physicist Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who had established universities around the world, and those around him observed they saw the many miracles that Guru Maharishi performed. So John Hagelin concluded that we humans can indeed do miracles. But these miracles occur in accordance with laws of physics that have not yet been recognized. Slide 5, the title Pyrokinesis. There's a photo of, on this slide we see a picture of a young man performing pyrokinesis. This phenomenon shows that a person is capable of igniting objects on fire with the power of his or her thought. Here in the first film, you will see an example where David Vasilevsky lights a match by his mind alone. There, see that? In the second film clip, Mikhail Raduga lights a tissue by concentrating his thought. Now, Mikhail Raduga sets fire not only paper, but any objects he wishes to, and not only close up, but even at a distance. He can light anything he wants to, even from a distance. In my book, I write that a person consists of psychoelectrical fields that can radiate various types of waves with all different properties. These emanations can be measured. Psychic waves can dematerialize or materialize matter. The possibilities of such radiations exceed our imagination. Slide 6. Sviatoslav Rerich on psychic energy and the Indian guru Sai Baba. In 1987, I was very fortunate to meet with the Russian artist and thinker Sviatoslav Rerich. In our conversation, we discussed the question, what is psychic energy? Sviatoslav Rerich spoke of the example of Guru Sai Baba, who could materialize various objects, including gold, rings, diamonds, as you can see in the photograph. Here he forms a trident made of sacred ash. It's called a vibhuti. So Sai Baba made this to share with his followers and has been constantly using this sacred instrument for a long period of time. Next slide is titled Psychogravitation. That's Anatoly Antipov. When a person attracts a heavy object to his own body, that's called psychogravitation. So you can hear the assistants chattering back and forth as they're lifting the heavy plates to Antipov's chest. Okay, grab the handle. Help me here. Here. Now that's work for you. This has got to be a world record. 150 kilograms. Good Lord. That's work. 150 kilograms. That's a world record. Okay, slide number 8. This slide demonstrates telekinesis, where a person moves objects without touching them, solely by his own mental or her mental power. Here, the operator, they don't even have to touch these objects to move them. Here, Vadim Kuzmenko acts on a suspended object under a glass globe. A light aluminum foil is balanced on a needle and isolated under a fishbowl. The globe with the setup under it was placed in another room 5 meters apart. And a video camera was set up in the other room and a monitor in front of the operator showing the object on the screen. The operator watched the monitor with the object under the fishbowl, and the foil began to turn, even though it was separated by a wall, and he was only watching a TV image of the object. just on the screen. At the same time, Olga Karyakina, who was conducting the experiments at the Brain Institute, was monitoring the electrical voltage at different points in the operator's brain. Under normal circumstances, the electrical potential is evenly distributed around a person's brain, but during this experiment, the voltage concentrated around the frontal lobe of the operator. Slide 9. The title, Aura and Physical Body. In Elena Blavatsky's book, From the Caves and Jungles of Hindustan, we find a diagram that shows how the body of a person is surrounded by auras, and each aura depicts another shell of the physical body, such as the etheric body, the transparent body, the astral body, the mental body, the body of the soul, and the body of the spirit. And conducting these experiments with special apparatus, we were able to detect these auras. These auras indeed exist. Part of our self, our physical and etheric bodies, belongs to the material world. The transparent body, the astral body, and the mental body belong to the subtle material world, and the body of the soul and the body of the spirit belong to the world of higher reality. We even observed the exit of the astral body, or the phantom, from the physical body of a person. In this case, the phantom has our own consciousness and can easily pass through material barriers such as walls, as illustrated in this slide. Not only human bodies have a phantom, but also other living organisms, animals, and plants also have a phantom too. We observed the departure of the astral body by means of self-hypnosis, the state of clinical death, car accidents, and when a centrifuge spun too fast, nearly to the point of a death, and the test object lost consciousness. So at this point, he or she saw that they left their physical body and they saw themselves from outside their own body. That even happened to me one time. Slide 10. Man has received, God fashioned us according to his own image and likeness. For this reason, by mobilizing our thoughts, each person in principle has the capacity to materialize or dematerialize objects. He can levitate, that is, overcome the force of gravitation. He can attract objects with his or her own body. She can move objects regardless of the distance. He can look through opaque screens. She can see the past and the future. And he can travel to other worlds with the Spirit. In our present time, the time has come that not only psychophysical processes manifest by mobilizing our thoughts, we will study and make use of them. We'll study and make use of these with the help of the equations of the physical vacuum. Thank you for your attention. Moscow State University.